Hey guys, welcome to my video tutorial on this basic CRUD application that we are developing in KnockoutJS. So today we'll be writing HTML. Today we will creating a feature that would allow us to persist the area of study information. So right now this page called add area of study .html, it doesn't exist in our system. We're going to go ahead and add this one. Okay, so I'm going to go into Visual Studio and then I'm going to copy the existing one called add degree, and I'm going to rename that guy. I'm going to say add area of study.html, and then if I refresh this website now, of course we have a page. Well, we have a page, even though the code is exactly the same from the add degree, but in the add area of study, we will have a drop-down list which we're gonna bind using KnockoutJS, and we'll be fetching data of all the degree that we have saved from the add degree, and then we'll have a text box to enter the area of study here. We can utilize this text. Let's go ahead and we slowly go ahead and start changing our HTML. So this is our add area of study page. Very first thing, I'm going to go ahead and change the title of the HTML page. Add area of study, and this. It says add degree in the field set title. I'm going to change the title to add area of study. This message that we had, of course, is going to change. It's not going to say degree added successfully. It will be area of study added successfully. This message is okay. We don't have our view model for KnockoutJS. We'll be creating this one. This is not going to be that because we strictly copy the code from our add degree. So right now we can leave that as it is. And we have a text box here called please enter a degree in. Instead of this, we can say please enter an area of study. We are just changing some label here. And we have a button that says add a degree. Instead of add degree, this button gonna say add area of study. Okay, we just change some label and stuff so we can see this page add area of study. It has a nice title, and it says please enter area of study, and it has a button, right? So very first thing in here, we need a drop-down list. Let's go ahead and write some HTML, Bootstrap HTML page. It's going to be HTML markup. Sorry, it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to create a new div here. This div we're going to give a class called row. Just the Bootstrap classes here. This I'm kind of thinking it will have a 3 div. I will explain why I need 3. The first one will be, and we're going to say please select a degree. Just the instruction for the user. And this one will contain a drop-down list. Let's just put a template here. Let's give it an ID for this drop-down list. We're going to say degree. That will be okay. And this one right here, I'm going to create a div here, and it will have, I'm going to give a span tag, so later on I can style it if I need it. If needed, then I can say degree is required fill. This is going to be our basic HTML, something like this. If I look at this one right now, it's going to be ugly because we haven't, okay. So this doesn't look nice, right? It has a please select a degree, and everything is into right now because by default the div is like display mode is not inline, so that's why it has their one line. let's go ahead and change by putting some Bootstrap CSS. This one, inside that row, I'm going to give a class. I would say column, I'm going to give it 2 to this guy, and this is going to be a little longer. I'm going to give a class column MD, let's say 4 for now. We'll change these as needed. And the last one, let's give this guy also a class. So we have 4 plus 2, 6 already. Let's give this guy a 5. Okay, so total we have 4 plus 5 plus 4, 9, 11. Total is 12 in the row, right? So we're okay so far. So at least it should start looking a little better. Okay, now at least our div is all aligned together vertically. That's how we want it. For this one, it still looks ugly right here. Okay, this drop down list right here doesn't look nice. Let's go ahead and the way I'm going to put this drop down list, I'm going to wrap this guy, this drop down list, inside a div and give it a class called it's a form group. Let's give this class here. And let's put our drop down list inside that form, and also we need to provide the Bootstrap class. We're going to say a form control, so that way it's going to look nice. It would apply the Bootstrap CSS to our control. Okay. All right, it's looking better, but it still look a little funky, because this one I would like to have all of my control, my text boxes and my my drop down list, radio buttons, whatever, the same size, so that it looks more appealing. So this one, we can fix that one, right? Let's say this is our row, and we have 2 rows here, and I think that the input type is inside the MD5 column dash MD5 5. We decided to put 4. Let's make it 5 for the drop down list also. So this one would be instead of 4, I'm going to make that div as 5, so they would be in the same size. Looks a little better. Okay, this is our drop down list. It doesn't have any content right now. We'll be loading these from the Bootstrap. We'll basically we'll be getting those data from the SQL Server, right? And this button right here, that we would like to have this button come down into its one row. So in here, this is the button here. So let's see where that rows end. Okay, that's where that rows end. We can create a new row here. And of course this row will have a class row, and then inside that a div with the buttons. So I'm going to get rid of this code from here. And instead of that, I want to put this code here. Of course, like, we don't like this button right here to all the way towards the left. We would like to push it into the middle or towards the right. Kind of in the middle makes more appealing to the eyes, rather than having user stretch their hand, come all the way to here to click the button. So let's go ahead and fix this one. So how do we fix this? We don't actually need this extra div here. The bunch one is the div. So maybe give this div here. For this div, we would like to give, oops, I don't mean to do that. Give some 4, and then it would, so that way it will push it towards the right, our button. Okay, it looks like it's really far away. Instead of going down, just give it a 3 for that empty div. Right now we don't have any content, and after that we'll have okay, this is okay, you know, as needed. As the designer says, we can put the button wherever we want, you know, by using Bootstrap. Okay, even though this course is not really entirely into Bootstrap, but we are using all these different kind of technology, so that's why I also decided to code HTML by hand. Okay. Now, so far our markup kind of looks okay, but we have degree is required field, and we also need area of study is also required field. Let's display that one too. We grab that existing. This is our label for 2, and this is where our text drop down would be. And then, oh, okay, please enter valid degree name. I would say, please enter valid degree. This is our validation. For some reason, this is, of course, you know, this code right here doesn't exist. That's for now. We will come up with this when we start writing our KnockoutJS view model. Okay, so right now, just get out. So we would like to display that too. I don't like to display this one into the next line. I need to display this. So instead of this one having, I want to create one. I got 5 and 2 so far, and I'm going to give create one div here and give a class maybe of MD3. So 5 plus 2 plus 3, which is, well, it's still not past 12. That's okay. So, and then I'm gonna grab this code from here and just basically inside the, I'll just dump it here so that all of them would be in the same line. Okay, I want this to be visible right here, you know, in horizontally instead of coming down here. So okay, this is going to be our basic markup. You know, we're using Bootstrap. So next thing we have to do, of course, you know, we need to create our view model. Okay. So to create a view model, because we already created one for the add degree, so we're gonna, let's go ahead and, because we do a lot of code would be very similar. So instead of reinventing the wheel, I'll be using, I wanna create a new file here, and I'm gonna name it as add area of study, a JavaScript file. So we have a view model. This view model was, of course, for adding the degree. So we can say view model add area of study, and we need, based on our UI, we need some sort of, you know, array object to bind our drop-down list. So let's go ahead and create a property here. I'm going to call this property degrees, which is going to be observable array. Okay, that is to bind our degree. And this name, we can call it a name, but it's going to be it is to persist, this to represent, you know, this whatever the user going to enter into area of his study. Let's change the placeholder for this. It says please add a degree. That's, we need to change that one. Let's go into our close all but this, save everything, and then open this too. All right, add area of study. The text box still says add yeah, please add a degree. We're going to say please add an area of a study. Okay, so it now looks better, right? So it should say, okay, here is our drop-down list and our text box. Everything is coming along, all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and start writing code for our model. So here, this is to represent all the degrees to populate our drop-down list. This is the name of our area of study. This successful message is okay because we would like, when the user clicks the button, we would like to show this one. And let's add a couple of properties here. This degree, we would like to user to make sure they select the degree. So I'm going to say is degree selected, and this property can be observable. Okay, this is degree selected. Here is our degree, here is our name property, and this is to display the successful message. Let's define one more property here. I'm going to say is valid degree selected. By default, we are assuming it's a true. That means the user selected. If they don't, we need to set it to false. So our other property we need is valid area of study added. Some property here, okay? We'll be using, and by default we assume that is added. If not, we will have a problem later. So we have area of study. This is our view model, and then we're gonna return. This is our object, as you can see right here. This is our view model object, and and this is our finally, once that is all defined, of course, you know, then these are old method from our saved degree. We don't need this one. We just comment it out here. Okay, this would be commented out for now. So now our JavaScript file add an area of study is defined, and we have a view model called bm add area of study. Let's go ahead and start using that view model into our HTML page. Okay, very first thing, of course, you know, we need to acquire our JavaScript file. This is for add degree, of course, but instead of add degree, we'll be grabbing this file here onto the surface. That is here now, and then this one is just a navigation. This is common, of course. You know, these are all HTML pages. If I was writing this code in Node, I would have a bunch of template like Jade or whatever. But in this example, I'm using copying and pasting all the kind of like a common feature, like the navigation bar, footer, all those things, okay, into each file. This is not the right way to do, of course, but you know, you basically we will have some sort of templating engine so that we can share the piece of code. We don't have to copy and paste on each file. All right. So it's the same idea. This area of study added successfully. This particular thing, we don't like to. Well, even before that, if I run this page right now, see, this is all visible because we have huge amount of issue going on here. If I go into the developer tools, we have a bunch of JavaScript error here. Uncode, KO is not defined, a bunch of things going on here, okay? So where is the issue? Oh, okay, that is a good catch here. Looks like it's uppercase or something. Okay, we'll fix it. So very first thing, we don't have a view model called bm add degree. So the view model we have is called bm area of study. So we need to fix that one here. And we have successful message. Okay, by default it's set to false. We have that property. At least by doing this, we shouldn't have that visible anymore. Area of study added successfully. Why is that? Okay, let's make it this little visible here. So we have knockout, built-in knockout binding called data visible here, and this is our view model, and it has a property called successful message. We want to display this reason only if this value is set to, if this value is true. Right now it's set to false, so it should not be visible. Let's see why it is visible. Oh, okay, because we have all the other. So let's in our page of, it looks like we have some other of here. Data bind. We don't have a BM add degree. We have, because we have error in our JavaScript. If that's why it is, looks like it's not working. So let's go ahead and fix this one also. Okay, still some JavaScript error. That's what happens when you do copy and paste, guys. Okay, yeah. Oh, that is like uppercase K. I thought I would fix it, and even I told you that I would, but this uppercase, it has no idea. Well, hey, what kind of object is that? That's what it was throwing there. Now at least it should it should go away. Okay, things looking good. At least that message, I mean that the successful message is gone away from here. And the next thing we have to fix, we don't want to display this one by default, because if the idea is that we would like to display